Okay, students, today's topic is ethical and legal aspects of advertising. Objectives of today's discussion will be limited to knowing the role of ethics in advertising, to understand the ethical issues in advertising, and to understand the legal aspects of advertising. So let's start with understanding what is meant by the ethics. So ethics in advertising means a set of well-defined principles which govern the ways of communication taking place between the seller and the buyer. So means ethics generally describing is something that tells us what the difference between right and wrong. It tells us what's good, what's bad for us. So similarly, ethics in advertising means to differentiate between the good practices and the bad practices being used for advertising. So nowadays means most of us get worried about, because this is not part of our value system. When we see youngsters, young generation, they are being hooked onto their mobile phones, they are eating fast food, and they are always boasting about the materialistic possessions they have, and we feel that their value system is going down and down. So most of the time we used to wonder as to where are we heading. So although we just cannot blame only advertising for this change, there are many factors that have led to this change, but advertising has an important role to play here as well. So according to Wilhelm Stephenson, ethical advertising uses the truth to deceive the public, whereas unethical advertising uses falsehoods to deceive the public. So means herein, and this is a very good definition, you can just judge out from here that ethical advertising is something the base of which is truthful information, and this information is used to deceive. So deceive here means to manipulate the consumers, because advertising is always having persuasive power that is being used to push the people to perform their action in form of purchase of goods and services. So even if it's ethical, even then it is like manipulating people to purchase the things. But unethical advertising is criticized for the reason that here false information is being used to cheat the people, to means force them to buy the things, and this is something that is based on the false information. So the critics of the advertising argues that the most advertising is mere propaganda than information. So it creates those needs and wants which the consumer might not even think of. So advertisements suggest that girls can become Miss Universe by using a particular soap, or while another soap can make you look younger. Your television make your neighbors envious of you. So means all these false information is presented before the audiences, and if they may believe it after that, obviously means it will distort their ethics. Now we'll talk about the various ethical issues and that are means there in advertising. It is puffery, bad taste in advertising, advertising to children, advertising of controversial products, subliminal advertising, improper language use, and concealment of facts. So we'll be discussing these one by one. So let's start with puffery first. Puffery is defined as advertising or other sales representation which praise the items to be sold with subjective opinions, superlatives, or exaggerations, vaguely and generally stating no specific facts. So puffery basically means making exaggerations. So there is something and we are just exaggerating, we are just making it very large, we are making tall claims in advertising, So puffery or exaggerating or tall claims that are being used in advertising, these are generally legal. Hence, the issue of puffery involves how much exaggeration should be accepted. On the other side, for advertisers, the question of puffery is mainly an ethical one. Puffery is defined, like I told you, that it is defined as advertising or other sales representation which praise the item to be sold. So with subjective opinion, superlative means telling the best thing, the world's best, like using these kind of superlatives to exaggerate the claim that is being made. So these are some of the examples of so nothing outlasts an everyday battery. So means whenever some claim is being made where no scientific basis is there, where means something is not there that can prove whether the claim made is right or wrong. So that amounts to the unethical practice. So the most accurate watch in the world. Now, how can we tell this is the most accurate watch in the world? So there is no basis to justify the claim being made here. So this is called puffery. Now, puffery is something that we cannot say that it's wrong, because this information is actually means it's been exaggerated. Obviously, the purpose of watch is to tell the time. Every watch tells the time, and most of the time watches tells us accurate time. Okay, so so sometimes now here, like I told you, that in case of puffery, the ethical concern is that how much exaggeration is being used. So making a claim that using a particular product, making use of a particular face cream will get you a job. So or our product is the best one. So these are some of the pufferys, or these are examples of the puffery being used in advertising. Next is bad taste in advertising. Different things offend different people in different ways. So each and every advertisement cannot offend the same all the people in the similar way. So when we watch advertisement that shows the infected skin, that is the advertisement of the Ring Guard or the advertisement of Bernol, or that involves product like low waist jeans or some feminine hygiene products, they produce higher levels of distaste. So that means many of the people, they may not like seeing those things on the television in front of everyone sitting in their family. So we all have our own ways of assessing as to what constitutes the good taste. Unfortunately, these ideas vary a lot, and hence creating journal guidelines for good taste in advertising becomes very difficult. So bad taste is also affected by factors like time, age, and of course, personal perceptions of an individual about that advertisement. So, like I told you, that if a person is watching an advertisement with his family while having his dinner, he might view it differently as compared to the one who is watching it alone in their personal space. What might seems vulgar to the elderly people might not be so vulgar to young people or a teenager. So we can say that the taste of the advertising will vary depending upon the varied factors. Next is advertising to children. So advertising to children means all the advertising that are being targeted at children. Since children have limited ability to judge good and bad and are unable to interpret messages targeted to them, critics are highly critical of advertising aimed at these soft targets. So therefore, one of the controversial topics of advertising is the issue of advertising to children. So TV is a vehicle through which advertisers can reach children very easily. So most of the times the advertisers target their messages to children, and they in turn are affected so much that they force their parents to buy things which otherwise might not be required by them. um, Advertisers have understood that nowadays children have become the decision makers of household, and they try to encash this fact through whatever way possible. So advertisers are using children to promote the products or services which are not even meant for children, and these are products that are meant for the adult people. So the advertisement put a great impact on the psychology of the children, as it is apparent from the few incidents, for example, where the children try to enact as Superman or perform some other stunt that are being shown in the advertisement. So such great is the impact of advertisement on the children, because they are the one who are not of the age who can evaluate what is good or bad for them. So some advertisements try to convince children to purchase the advertised product by offering free gifts or toys, etc., which is considered to be unethical, as the children are innocent and targeting innocence is considered wrong. So most of the things like Kinder Joy is being presented as the healthier healthy food for the kids, and they lure the kids to buy the Kinder Joy by giving by telling them that they'll get a free toy along with that Kinder Joy. It's a highly priced product which is not of any nutritional value to their to the kids, to the children. So such advertisement counts for the unethical advertising. So this is another example of advertising to children. Now Surf Excel is something that has to be used by the women for washing clothes, or means that has to be used by the adults. So even in the advertisement of such product, children are being used. So means most of the product that we see, the advertisements we see nowadays, we feel that there are many products that use children as their anchors or their actors, while those products are not actually meant for their use or consumption. Continue. Next is advertising of controversial products. So there are certain products whose advertising have always provoked heated controversies. So some of the products related to the female hygiene are or the contraceptive, etc. These have become acceptable over a period of time. Initially, these were not acceptable, but some of the products have still not been accepted by the majority of the consumers, and those products are tobacco. So there are restrictions on products thought to be unhealthy or unsafe, and there are laws imposed for prohibiting their advertising on the national television. So that's why the cigarette advertising on television and radio has been banned of late. And so that's why the advertising of these controversial products are banned, like alcohol and tobacco. So the advertisers, they have found out the new ways to promote their product, and surrogate advertising is one term that relates to the advertising of these controversial products. So that surrogate advertising amounts to be unethical practice that is being used. Next is the subliminal advertising. So this word subliminal basically means below the level of conscious awareness, means being exposed to something without even knowing that we are being exposed to something that is called subliminal, below our conscious below the level of our conscious awareness. A subliminal message is a message which is transmitted in such a manner that the receiver is not consciously aware of receiving it. So means transmission of a message that even the receiver is not aware of receiving it. So there was an experiment made. In one of the cinemas, means during when film was shown, a message was displayed at rapid pace and in very small font, which was hardly readable. And this experiment was made by Coca-Cola. So that message says, um, eat popcorn, drink Coca-Cola. So it was passing at a rapid pace that hardly one could notice. But still, means after giving that advertisement, they realized that the sale of the popcorn and Coca-Cola has significantly increased. So that means that even the subliminal messages have impact on the mind of consumers. So but they are means they impact them, but they are not actually aware of such products. So this is a kind of subliminal advertising. So basically means this approach was used by Fair and Lovely because during the means this product is long available in the market, and they advertise their product in such a manner that after using this product they'll become fair and they'll become acceptable in the society. So from time to time they have changed their approaches, and like it was shown that instantly after using this product the girl will become fair and she'll get a good job. So means this is something that is putting in our unconscious mind that means dark skinned people are not liked much, and they will not be able to succeed. So means this is something that forces us to believe that one can succeed in life only when they have a very fair color. So whereas means this is a kind of very unfair or unethical practice being used by the advertisers, because most of the Indian people, they have dark skin. So they should embrace their dark skin. So they shouldn't mean some products shouldn't make them believe that their skin is not good and they are required to change it. Next is the use of improper language. Advertisement in recent days have received complaints of containing improper or slang words. So it has also been criticized against the advertisement that the dignity of the language has been seriously destroyed, especially in television commercials, through the vulgar or some slang words that are censored by a beep sound, but people can easily guess the word by lip movement. So means such improper words shouldn't be used in the advertising. So the use of improper words should be avoided in advertising because it can greatly impact the people. Next is the concealment of facts. Hiding the facts about the product is the major ethical issue on which most of the advertisements are criticized. Advertising usually tend to suppress information about the product and show only the best and the brighter side of the product. Like most of the times when some pharmaceutical product is being advertisement, they tell only the means the good part of that medicine. They'll always tell you how will it cure your problem, but they'll never tell you that what are the harmful effects of using those products, what are the side effects. They'll never mention in their advertisement. No doubt these side effects are mentioned. It's mandatory to mention, and they'll will get a paper inside the packaging of that product where those side effects might have been mentioned. But in advertisement itself, they'll never highlight the negative side of their products. Similarly, all the like hair color products, they'll be advertised as something that will change your appearance, they'll always highlight on the benefits, but they'll never tell you that means prolonged uses of the hair colors might lead to causing cancer, causing skin cancer. So it could be a reason for that. So such things are always being hidden in the advertisements. Concealment of fact raises many ethical concerns as the general public are deprived of actual truth about the product and the consumer choices are distorted. So most of the juices are that are available in the, they are like they are being advertised as healthy juice alternatives, but they never tell you that it contains a lot of sugar that can have a very bad effect on the health of people. So all these are examples of the concealment of effect in the advertisement, and these are counts for unethical practices in advertising. Till this, we have done the various ethical issues that are involved. Now, what are the various controlling bodies that are there to control the ethics or the social aspects of advertising? So one is Advertising Agencies Association of India, and second is Advertising Standard Council of India. So out of these, Advertising Standard Council of India has a major role to play. So this is, first of all, this is a self-regulatory organization. And the objective of Advertising Standard Council of India are to make sure advertisers and advertisements are truthful and honest, and they are not offensive, and the advertisement should not be hazardous to the society, and it should be fair with the competitors. So these are the working areas of the Advertising Standard Council of India. Next comes the legal aspects of advertising. So the government in each country has to make sure that the advertisements appearing do not flaunt of their rules and regulations. It should not show any anti-national feelings. It should not contain misleading information about the product, and it should not violate government rules. As far as legal aspect is concerned, there is no independent or separate act that governs advertising in India. But however, a number of acts contain provisions that are applicable or that can regulate the that are applicable to advertising across various industries. So the various acts that are relevant in the context of legal aspects of advertising are the Consumer Protection Act 1986, the Competition Act 2002, the Cable Television Network Regulation Act 1995, Indecent Representation of Women Prohibition Act 1986, the Trade and Merchandise Act 1958, the Companies Act 1956, Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1954, Food Safety and Standards Act 2005, the Drugs and Magic Remedies Objectionable Advertisements Act 1954, and the Motor Vehicles Act 1988, the Advertising of Tobacco Products Act. So these are the various laws that that regulates the advertising in India. So this act, the Consumer Protection Act 1986, is applicable to advertisement relating to all the products. Under this act, the consumer can file a complaint under various classes of malpractices mentioned in the act, like deceptive advertising or misleading advertising. The consumer courts can take action against the defaulter under Section 14 of the Consumer Protection Act. Next is the Competition Act 2002. So the Competition Act replaced the MRTP Act that is Monopolies and Restrictive Trade Practices Act in year 2002. Under this act, any ad that gives false or misleading statements about goods and services and disparaging the goods and services of another person shall amount to unfair trade practices. So disparaging here means to give derogatory remarks about someone or to degrade or to bring disgrace to someone. So any practice used in advertising that brings about disgrace to any person or to any product or to the competitor products, so those counts for the unethical one. Next is the Cable Television Regulation Act 1995. This act consists of an advertising code specified in section 7 of the act. So there is one main section that had laid down the advertising code that should be followed. This section entails the details regarding the provisions applicable to ads given on television, on cable television. So next act is Indecent Representation of Women Prohibition Act 1986. According to section 2 of the act, the term indecent representation of women means the depiction in any manner of the figure of women, her form of body, or any part thereof in such a way as to have the effect being indecent or derogatory to the denigrating women, or is likely to deprave, corrupt, or injure the public morality or morals. So this is the definition laid down in the section 2 of the act of indecent representation of women. So this act basically prohibits making any indecent representation of women in the advertising. So in all forms of advertising, that is in print advertising or in the television advertising or in video advertising. Thus, the act prohibits the indecent representation of women through advertisements or in publication or writings, paintings, or in any other manner. Section 3 and 4 of the Act deals with the publication aspect. According to these sections, according to the section 3 and 4, no person is allowed to publish or exhibit any advertisement containing indecent representation of women in any form. And further, section 4 entails that any prohibition of publication or sending by post of books, pamphlets, etc., containing indecent representation of women. So basically, this act deals with prohibition of indecent representation of women in any form. So means making indecent representation of women on the packaging of products, on the wrapper of any product. So all of this is banned. Next law is Trade and Merchandise Act 1958. This act was replaced by Trademarks Act 1999, and the act prohibits the use of marks which are likely to deceive or create confusion, which contains scandalous or obscene matter, and the mark should not hurt the religious feelings of the people, and so on. So you might have seen sometimes some particular products are there being they are being like there is a hue and cry that indecent means the like sometimes the figure of God is being used on the crackers or on the cigarettes. So there is always scandals involved, such kind of. So after Next is the Companies Act 1956. So the Companies Act 1956 deals with financial advertising. So this act lays down that a company shall invite public for subscription in its shares and debentures through advertising only. So this particular section also states that such an advertising should include a statement showing the financial position, and the ad should be given in the manner as prescribed by the act. So that means this Companies Act of 1956 deals with advertising related to the financial aspect. So this act lays down that while inviting the IPOs, while issuing the IPOs, the company should give an advertising in the prescribed format in the newspapers. So or on the other channels as well. And in such advertisements, the company financial position of the company should also be highlighted. So that means the balance sheet of the company should be shown in such advertisements so that people can come to know what is the current financial position of the people, because otherwise believing that the company is in sound financial health and they'll buy the shares and debentures, and later on they may regret their decisions. So that will amount to some unethical practice being used by the Companies Act if they won't give the advertisement. Next is the Motor Vehicles Act 1988. This particular act deals with the outdoor advertising. By outdoor advertising, I means billboards, posters, neon signs, glow signs, etc. Hoardings that are being put every here and there. The act empowers the police to remove any sign or board that obstructs any traffic board or sign or distract the attention of driver. So this Motor Vehicles Act 1988 is being this is being made to protect the to prevent the accidents that are being caused. So this particular act gives power to the traffic police that they can remove any hoardings or they can remove any advertising which they feel is distracting the attention of the driver and it may lead to the cause of accident. So such advertisements can be taken off by the police. Next is the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1954 or Food Safety and Standards Act 2005. So these acts regulates all advertising relating to food items, including the packaging and labeling. So since the consumers rely on labeling for information regarding a particular product, the act requires certain rules to be followed that are mentioned in the sections 3 of the act. So this act basically regulates all the provisions related to the food items. So it means this act requires that all the information related to the food items, the nutritional information of the food items should be there on the packaging. It should means if something if some ingredient is used that can cause allergy to the people, then that information should be put on the means that that should be labeled on the packaging itself. So it also covers the misbranded food items. So next is the Advertising on Tobacco Product Act. This is an important act that prohibits the advertising and sales promotion of tobacco products. The advertisers are rampantly resorting to surrogate advertising to sell their liquor and tobacco products. So means due to imposing of this particular act by the government, the advertisers are now largely being using surrogate advertising to advertise the controversial products or the products जिनकी जो है वो advertising is not allowed. So another law that regulates the advertisements is the Drugs and Magic Remedies Objectionable Advertisements Act 1954. So this particular act controls advertising of drugs in India, and it prohibits advertisements of drugs and remedies that claims to have magical properties and make doing so is a cognizable offense. So means some drugs that are being advertised as something that is that will give an instant cure to some problem, which is not possible. These advertisements cannot be made on the these advertisements cannot be given. So magic remedies are sometimes means the advertisements of tantrics or babas possessing some magical abilities. So these type of advertisements are banned by this particular law. So students, these are the various laws that regulates the advertising in India. So all of these means so there are a few sections in each of these laws that regulates the overall the working of advertising. So in India, there is no specific laws in relation to the advertising otherwise. Hopefully you have understood the concept.